Just put them in easy spots for practice rounds.
Went live.
We're live. Sick. I actually I have a bunch of questions from people as well. So we
I got
can
many.
go over. I got like 10 ready to point and shoot.
It's a good thing.
Speaking of point and shoot, rangefinder. I didn't listen to Monahan's presser, but I heard he said rangefinders are coming, at least a trial run.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Bob, is that a stash or is it a shadow?
It is. It
It's a
is.
stash. I like it.
Yes.
A little,
Thank you.
that's cheeky.
I like it.
Where am I putting this? Instagram, Twitter, both.
Yeah, Instagram's cool. Well, yeah, either works.
I'll get Twitter
Speaking
up.
of speaking of that,
Or sorry, sorry, I don't have the login to Twitter on my computer, my bad.
speaking of that. Bob, will you be tuned in tomorrow morning?
Well,
Well, nice.
I have
Love to
a
hear that.
I kind of did a it's I'm on spring break. I went to um Sedona for 3 days.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because
Um
it looks like you're in your usual spot, so I assume you're
wh-
back.
which is up north about 2 hours. Pretty cool. It was snowing. Um it's kind of cool because one side of the mountain is like it's like very winter, and then the other side of the mountain is 80 degrees. So
All right, that's right near
20.
Flagstaff, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's where my best friend went to NAU, so
Yes. Yes.
familiar with those parts. Proud lumberjack.
Yes. NAU, we were absolutely in NAU territory for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't live there personally, but yeah, if you're an outdoors person, it's sick. I know the views are awesome.
Yeah, I'm not really, but it was cool. The views are ridiculous. Um,
Yeah, it's just not metro enough for me. That's
I
the
agree.
problem.
I like the valley though. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Phoenix is great. We were actually talking about it in the car on one of the drives. Like, the valley is kind of like the perfect spot to be like ages 20 to like 28. Like, it's not really a place I'd want to raise a family in, but it's great for like business connections and stuff like that. And it's also a blast, and the weather's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff.
I tweeted on mine. Did anyone tweet on to go get that?
Oh, what
Would
about
you like
one?
me? Would you like me to, Dan, or are you doing it?
You can go ahead. I'm figuring out Instagram right now.
I can't hear you, Dan. Just FYI.
You can go ahead. I gotta figure out Instagram.
Gotcha.
Do we
All
go
right.
with a song? Let's see here. We could go with a song.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I clicked on it immediately.
Because girls is players too.
But so yeah, I'm home until Saturday. Saturday morning, I'm going to Palm Springs. I'm playing golf, and then Sunday I'm gonna watch the Indian Wells final. So hopefully, Mr. Alcaraz makes it.
Yeah, that sounds sick. You're not gonna be able to watch Weekend at the Players, huh?
Um, no, I won't unless he's in contention. If he's in contention, Sunday I'll be in the stands with my phone watching the event. But no, I won't. I won't be
Respect
tuned in
that.
Saturday. Um,
Gotcha.
but
Hey, Indian Wells is a good trade-off.
it's it's
Y'all ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock.
Rock and roll.
yes. Yeah, I think everything's posted. You have
All right.
permissions.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Would you like me to start? You want to start?
You were Dan.
I vote Bob.
Okay.
All right, Bob by default. All right,
Sounds good.
let's roll.
Good evening, everyone. We are live. It is episode 143. How far we have come. It is the Players' Championship this week. The premier stop on the PGA Tour. Mr. Golden Boy is in attendance this week. Overall, a very prestigious championship that Mr. Spieth will be fighting for. It's nice to be in that inside. Um, so we will begin there. But yeah, it's always a great week on the tour. Maybe not always a great week for Mr. Spieth, but we hope to turn that around this year. He's been playing some really good golf. And I'm excited for the tournament in general. Over the year, it's grown on me a bit. I don't think quite as much as some of the other people that I know, but it has a fantastic finishing stretch, and it's usually pretty exciting come the end on Sunday. So yeah, it's a great week for golf, and hopefully we can get some good contention on the weekend.
Very excited for this week. It is the start of theme song season. It's Wednesday night. Mr. Spieth and others are off tomorrow morning. I will be playing the theme song on repeat for the next 3 hours, sticking it in my veins, and going from there. Uh, so it's good that we're here. I'm excited to break it all down, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun week. I think it really is. The weather on the weekend looks um enticing. Like I think it's kind of what you want for a tournament like this. So um it really doesn't get much better than this all year. I know we harp on some of the parts of the course here in the tournament, but it delivers. Like you'll get somebody who wins this week will have played some absurdly good golf. Full field cut, some big names will go down early, and I think that's when golf's at its best. I already got off to a good start with the Creator Classic. Um, but I mean the PGA Tour Classic is right around the corner, and I'm excited for it. So
Really, Jordan mentioned this. A great appetizer to the pod tonight was that Creator Classic. Yes, we were snubbed of a spot, but that's okay. Maybe next year. Um, we did want Olson playing the back nine. Um, would he have beaten Trent? Is a
yes,
it has to be a
Yes,
yes.
it has to be a
resounding yes.
yes.
It has to be a resounding yes. But it was a fun watch. I actually think it went pretty well at the start. I thought that it was a little bit interesting. But I think towards the end it did what it was supposed to do. It reached golf fans, but it also reached a little bit of a different audience, which is what the tour has been trying to do. So a lot of people were watching. I mean, the crowd on 17 was 13, 14, 15 rows deep. So people showed interest. It was pretty cool. We don't have to talk about it too much. We were discussing before the show. Do we think Trent wins the Players if he only plays 9 holes and takes zeros for the other 9? And I think I think it's interesting. Um, I don't know. He would have shot 68 with a double on
I mean, 18 is
18
a
if he had
tough.
made.
Giving Trent 6 on 18,
Yeah.
given that tee shot is generous. But playing
Yes.
he alternates front nine, back nine, doable. I don't know.
I think
It's
he wins if
basically,
it alternates back nine, front nine.
yeah. I mean, it's basically like saying, hey, play 2 rounds and see what your score is, and compare it to 4.
Yeah.
Um, but I, I don't know. It was a fun. I didn't catch any of it really, but people are commenting the fatter than most putt, which is just iconic. And then I appreciate Horvat ending it quickly so that folks could get on over to the live, go get that podcast. Um, so I appreciate that uh, as we get rolling here. But do we have any uh, Spieth updates on the week so far? I know he played 17 with Jordan Davis the other day. And that's about all I've
I love Jordan
seen.
Davis. Jordan
That's
Davis
about
is
all I've
good.
seen from him.
I mean, I've been trying. I mean, these are like the premier weeks where like you get a little bit more content than the usual regular tour weeks. I mean, I've been looking um to see what I can find. I think he hit two good tee shots in 6 and 7 today and left a hybrid. He hit hybrid on 8 on the par 3 today. I think he tried to a draw, left it out a little bit right. Um, to answer your question for the most part, no, I don't. I haven't really heard. I don't think. I mean, Bob's been busy with stuff, and I haven't really seen a whole lot in terms of updates for what to expect. But looked like he was on the range with Cam today. It does look like he might be a little bit under the weather. That seems to be. It seems like he might have a little cold. I don't want to blow it out of
Nice.
proportion. He's not. Yeah, he's not withdrawing or anything, but he was on the range, and I think he spoke with Johnson Wagner on live from this afternoon. Said he had a little cold. He was blowing his nose on the range, but I don't think it's anything major. Like I don't think he's severely sick like he's been in the past. He's got a tough immune system, a rough immune system. He's got a plethora of sicknesses over his career, but I don't think this is
Um,
a major one.
like a minor cold is like it is what it is. Like it's not like
Not an excuse, is what you're
it
saying?
shouldn't hinder his play by any means.
Shouldn't. Shouldn't.
Yeah, they have access to plenty of narcotics that can get them through 18 holes of golf. More access than we do, certainly.
Instant access, yeah.
I'm sure he'll be fine. So I'm not too worried about that.
It's unfortunate to come off a bye week and not be recovered fully, but it is what
Yeah,
it is.
I'm sure it's made the practice days a little bit longer, but you know, it, I think he'll be fine.
It's the fifth biggest tournament of the year. You got to sack up. Might be a little bit
Yeah.
sick.
Nah, it'll be all right.
a great question. Do you think Mr. Spieth views this or preps for this like a major?
Um, yes,
That was
yeah.
also my answer. But I think at the
I
back
just
of his, go ahead, Jordan.
no. Yes, go ahead.
I was
All
just gonna
yours.
say, I think in the back of his mind, he kind of knows that it's not. But it wouldn't shock me if this is lumped in, and maybe it's a little bit different because the PGA is like the one he needs for the slam. But like in my head, it's not that far from the PGA. Like the gap between winning this and winning the PGA is smaller than the gap between winning the PGA and winning the Masters or winning the Open.
If you didn't need the PGA, I think I wouldn't be
Right.
laughing. But yeah,
Yeah.
no. It's to answer your question, Bob. I don't have our YouTube. Was that a chat from YouTube or just a
What?
you? Was it someone on YouTube asked that, or did you ask?
No, no, I asked that.
Okay. Yeah, so
Good
he was
question.
playing holes. Yeah, he was playing holes on Monday. I think he played the back nine Monday, Tuesday, and then play the front today. And typically on a normal tour week, he's probably not usually playing holes on Monday, probably nine Tuesday, nine
Yeah.
Wednesday. So yeah, he played 27 holes, which is, I mean, he would typically do that at the Masters, unless he plays the week before, which, it'll always be range work Monday. But it feels like a major. It's the fifth biggest tournament undisputedly of the year. I think I don't think you recapped the Cognizant with us, Bob, but I was kind of saying like
Did not.
my dad says this is when golf season starts, is this week. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment. So yeah, it's a big one to say the least. I mean, we know that, but biggest purse they play all year as well.
Certainly
Yeah,
has
it's
implications on our triple double adventures.
Absolutely.
But yeah, massive week for that. I also, I don't know. And maybe it's just because I've been out of touch because I'm working all the time, but doesn't uh, it just misses a little bit of like the feel or importance of a major. Maybe part of that is just Mr. Spieth's lackluster results around this golf course. But potential for that to change this week. Obviously, we say that pretty much every week, but you struggled around the greens here. Greens have been updated. I know, Jordan, you have the more like specific update of what the
Grass.
green seed type went to this week, but I believe it's more Bermuda, Bermuda, and less POA now, which is typically better for the Spieth camp.
Yeah, the official wording is it's a mostly Bermuda with it's still got the Poa Trivialis overseed. But last year it was just straight Poa Trivialis. So I, I'm not into how that will affect anything, but I'm sure Jordan's aware that there's some Bermuda in there, which I think just
Yeah.
mentally for him, just he'll have more confidence on reads and he won't be thinking about putts as much, which I think will help.
Certainly do too. Be
Yeah.
nice to see a couple go in early tomorrow morning. I know there's a few questions or just kind of topic prompters that we could get into. I don't know if you guys have, because fans blow up my DMs all the time about stuff. But
Yeah.
that was a joke, by the way. But I know you guys get hit with some stuff. So if you got them, I
Yeah, yeah, I got a bunch. And the first one's actually interesting because, so the gentleman asked, would Sunday's weather be an issue for the wrist? And he says Sunday, but I'm more thinking tomorrow morning. It's going to be chilly out there. Low 50s when he's teeing off tomorrow morning. So it's going to be very, very
How
interesting
chilly
to
will it
see.
be Sunday morning?
Well, let's hope we're not teeing off Sunday morning.
yeah.
Well, that was half
But it's
my
actually,
point.
yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he's not listening to us live right now. But Sunday looks fine temperature wise. I think there's a chance of rain now based on the weather app, but tomorrow morning is going to be low 50s. So he's going to have a hoodie on, a sweater on. It's going to be cold. And the last time we saw him in cold weather, it went very poorly. So
It's an important
tomorrow,
first
the first
six.
9 holes, yeah, 6, 9 holes, it'll be interesting.
Well, yeah, I guess you can expand that out to nine, considering that he's starting on the back. 16, 17, 18 will be in that front nine for him. So that's obviously a massive few holes. Yeah, that's not ideal that it's low 50s, but at some point it's got to go better than it did at Torrey and Pebble. My guess is the electric mitt will be out, um, which in Florida is crazy, but the sun will pop out and it'll warm up quickly, but it's
Yeah.
just like I mean 10 not a difficult start either though, to be fair. 10, 11, 12 are you'd like to be under par through those three. And then hopefully that's got the wrist loosened up enough, kind of leading into 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, I think Jordan put it well earlier that he needs to get through the front nine even par tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um because that back nine is really challenging before 16. And the good news is 17 should be a pretty easy tee shot at the time he's playing it, which is nice.
Yeah, it'll
Um,
help to play it. Yeah.
it'll be early morning still, but won't might have much wind, I don't think, comparatively.
Yeah.
So I think that if he can get through, if he can get to one tee, even par, he's in a really good position to shoot a score in the 70s. I mean a score in the 60s. So that front nine could be gettable. The back nine can be gettable, but I that the first five holes are going to play pretty long in the morning, and if the wrist is tight, you could see it get 2-3 over par quickly. So it's nice. It would be nice to get through the early stretch. It would be nice to get an early birdie at 11. Um, that would be nice.
Don't
But
shoot
Yeah,
yourself out of it. He's good
yeah,
at
right.
missing that fairway at 11 too.
he's very good at that. Yes.
Yeah, 11, if they put that pin back left early morning, you're not
Yeah.
going to see a lot of birdies there throughout the
Pins are
day.
out, so I'm curious.
Oh, are they? See if it's back
It's
left. That's probably
it's
the toughest
front
pin on the
left.
green.
Front
Oh,
left.
doable.
Doable.
I expect a four tomorrow morning. Um, that's awesome. No, it's I mean, the more we just sit here, the more I get excited about this golf tournament. I think we've got a player who's playing good stuff and figuring it out and getting better. And like we're
We
saying,
were,
like
yeah.
hoping, I mean, if he can get through the bat, I mean, I'd be ecstatic with anything one under better. But like you said, Bobby, even par, like I don't know if I'd sign for that right now, but I certainly would be more than content with that.
I
Um,
don't think I'd sign for
right.
even par
I think
tomorrow.
I think the
I don't
the
think I would
back
either.
is
No.
decently gettable. You put it in the fairway, you've got probably a wedge on 10. Um, 11's the par five, 16's a par five, 13's a long three, but 12's a short four.
12,
Uh,
13, sorry, 13, 14,
yeah,
15,
14's a
17,
brute.
18 are tough holes though.
14's 14's pretty easy to make a five at. Um,
It's
Yeah.
beefy. Yeah.
it's a beefy golf hole. Ask my 2K my player about it, and he'll tell you that it is a beefy golf hole. 15's not too easy either, but um yeah, so I guess all that's to say is like there's a lot of tournament left after the first nine, is kind of what we're alluding to. Like the first
Yeah.
nine's important to not be out of it, but I don't think we have the highest of expectations to for him to thrust straight into it, if that makes sense.
Right.
And I think it's a kind of reasonable bar to set. I think if you'd take 69, 68, we'll have to see how it plays because they got some water this past weekend, but it's been sunny the rest of the week, so I don't really know how dry everything is. But
Someone shooting 65 tomorrow. I think
yeah,
that's,
no, I mean 7 or 8 is going to lead the golf tournament tomorrow.
yeah.
Would be my guess. So if you kind of hang around at 3, but I don't see it getting much past 15 if the wind holds this weekend. That's kind of what they get. So
This weekend will be hang on, and
you think about it, you get 3 or 4 a day, and obviously you have to do a little bit better on Thursday, Friday, but it's that math will play itself out, for sure.
It will.
yeah.
It really is about kind of just staying in. I mean, you do um this golf course um can stink if it's playing really soft, but
Yeah.
when it's playing firm, it's a major championship test. It really is, which is fun to watch always, even if it's not. I don't think I really don't think it's the best designed first 15 holes. I mean, the last 3 holes are a great finishing stretch, but the rest of the golf course I think is kind of blah. But when it's playing firm, it It's a really good test. It's a pretty fair test as well. So it is kind of just about hanging around, making sixes turn into fives. Um, you 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 got to avoid doubles. You got to make birdies when you have opportunities. Got to capitalize. And the reality is, you're gonna have to make 8 foot par putts this week. You're gonna have to make a lot of those to contend. And the way this course is set up is kind of for the winner to shoot 15 under while making 23, 24 birdies. Um, it's set up to have a lot of birdies while also having a lot of bogeys. So, um, it's it's different. We don't really see this kind of test the rest of the year, but I'm excited for the tournament. It is always a fun watch at the end, and I think that Spieth's playing well enough golf. I remember like 4 years ago, in 2021, Jordan said, um, on a podcast that I believe he said that he believed Spieth would win the Players before he was 35.
Sounds about right. Running out of years.
Um,
Yeah,
and
halfway
I'm trying
through
to think if
that.
that was. I'm trying
Take
to
the
think if that's
under.
exactly what he said, but
I take the under 0.5 right now.
so you're taking your words back, okay? Which is
If it
fair.
wasn't if it wasn't the 35, I'd say even money. But
You think it's even money he wins the Players here?
well, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm cautiously optimistic for this week, though. Very cautiously. Like we're talking like senior citizen on the road, just driving slow, and maybe it'll go well. Like that's kind of the analogy. I mean, I was talking to Dan when we were doing the Cognizant recap because we obviously talked a little bit about this week because we knew at the time we weren't in the API. Like, I'm just never going to expect him to play well here. I mean, he was the best player in the world in 2015 and he missed the cut here. But he's
Yeah.
capable of playing well here. Like, it's not that he's not capable. Well, some years he's been incapable. This year he is capable. At least I think he's capable, especially with the greens going to mostly Bermuda. I think that helps him. But yeah, what we've seen in two of the last three events, Sands, Torrey Pond, like he's capable of playing well. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. When we didn't get to play last week, so like I've been really I was waiting for the API to end so we could get to this week. I could throw on the theme song for this week and been playing all that, and it just feels like a big week. I mean, he was out there Monday playing the back nine, and it's just yeah, there's obviously a chip on his shoulder. The whole comment about not getting into API, it's exciting, and then it's the run up to the Masters. I mean, we got this week, we got Valspar, and then we got Valero, and then we're there. So it's kind of you're going up like a stairmaster right now, and the incline's about to get higher starting this week. So
Great
cautiously
analogy.
optimistic. I think we're kind of all in the same boat being cautiously optimistic. I don't want to speak for anyone, but
Yeah, I think that's
Um,
fair. I mean, it is.
Mr. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say it is. We're now in like the middle step of sort of the ramp up to the Masters. I talked about it in the cog, uh, not the preview, the post view, the recap. Just saying like 1 week, week off, 2 weeks, week off, 3 weeks. Um, and we're getting there in 2 weeks. He did say he was gonna play 10 out of 12. My math doesn't have that added up
that
exactly.
ain't mathing. That ain't math.
Because he's only playing. I guess he's playing 5 out of 6, so he'd have to play another 5 out of 6. But I'm not sure that that's because there's the Zurich and what's that other event that is just
The
kind of
Corrales.
yes, the
Corrales.
Corrales seems unlikely. But we'll see about
No,
that.
no,
No, no.
no. The Corrales is the same week as the Heritage.
Is it?
Ah,
Yes. So if he
And he
said
is
he's
in the
playing,
Heritage.
if he
All right,
said he's
that's
playing 10 of 12, that would be one, two, three, four, five, six, seven,
He could actually.
eight, nine.
yeah.
It would
No,
be
it makes sense now.
playing 5 weeks in a row. It would be taking the Zurich off, and then it'd be going to Ranch. Love that.
Well,
I
that
mean, he's
would
playing
mean he'd
Truist.
play.
Truist, PGA, Schwab, Memorial, Break, U.S. Open.
Sounds like
Yeah,
the wrist is doing pretty well.
that's a
That's
stretch. Yeah, that's a great it's a great sign, I guess. But who knows?
It's great to hear him say it. Mr. Schlaber brought up the tee shot on 6.
Oh, I think that's getting too much attention.
I agree. I don't like it. Um,
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I
But
think
I think
it's
it's. I don't think the tree's
bad
in play.
for. I I don't think. I think the tree's in play. I think it's gimmicky though.
Burns hit it today.
Did he
Yeah.
really?
He
That
did.
that is that's like fitting that Sam Burns would hit that tree.
I think it's very gimmicky. I think it's frankly just pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it's pretty stupid. I think it's getting way too much attention. It- they're making the hole different for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, I get the. Yeah, it's a little much. If you want guys to not hit driver there, there's a different way to do that.
Agree.
Um, there was a tree there originally, but it was definitely not in play the way that it is this week.
Yeah.
I
Well, the T was further up back then.
Yeah, but the tree was also higher. Like the overhead. What concerns me is the one branch hanging down. Otherwise, I think it's not. r-
Towards the left side of the tee box, right?
Yeah, the one that just
Yeah.
kind of overhangs the left side. I think you'll see a lot of guys kind of teed up on that right side, squeeze a little fade, or I guess if they're gonna hit a kind of low draw, you can go over there, but certainly not starting left and having it work from left to right. So it's interesting. I guess I do hope somebody hits the tree. Um, and
Yeah, as long as it's
hate
not
to see it.
Spieth.
Right. That'd be a sickening way to be 4 under through 15 and the or 4 under through 14, step up to 6 tee box, put in the fairway. It's a birdie chance, and actually you're playing your second from 405 yards out. Um,
Yeah.
I just think that penalty is a little excessive, maybe, but hey, who cares? I mean, I guess the Creator Classic didn't go through there, but uh,
Oh God.
and not like Trent Ryan would
Yeah.
have struggled. Uh, but it is what it is. We'll see. It would be cool if like, I mean, it's like sort of it'd be cool if like Thomas hit it or a big name hit it and just started whining about it. Because I think Twitter would give them
Yeah.
a lot of shit for
I
hitting
agree.
the tree in the first place.
Yeah.
But I also hope that that player is not one Spieth J, because otherwise that would be.
That would
I mean, because
stink.
I think we all know, right? If he hits the tree, it's a horrible hole. It's the worst tree ever. What are they doing? They've lost the plot. Monahan needs to, you know, disappear. Like this is, but if
Some
it's
would say
not
that needs to
him, then
happen even with
We
the
have
jury.
we we have a follow-up for Mr. Schlaber saying that you can't call 6 gimmicky and call 17 a good hole.
I was 17 gimmicky.
I mean, it's gimmicky, but like
I mean,
it
it's an island
it
par
was
three.
designed to be gimmicky.
I mean, what's gimmicky is when they have that back pin and they just firm up the back part of that green, and
yeah,
a
that was
wedge just
chills a
takes a
few years
massive
ago.
I
hop.
agree. That was just
That's gimmicky. I don't
yeah.
find it gimmicky. There's a
Yeah, I
thousand
don't.
par
I think
threes around the country.
it's more like the penalty is you did not hit a wedge
Yeah.
into a target zone. This is like, but I think you could argue maybe the same thing here. It's like, well, you didn't flight your driver through a target zone. Um, and I guess I don't know if I'd call either of them gimmicky, but I would say that the one on six is just a more unique way to penalize players. And um, it's just weird and different, but we'll see how it plays this week. So I'm
Yeah,
excited
we
that Burns
will.
hit it. That's chills.
Yeah.
You could imagine Burns like there's definitely people out there that have him on a first round leader ticket, and he starts on the back and he's 6 under through 14, and then he just absolutely wallops the drive into that tree, and makes a seven or something, and Twitter's all up in flames because Sam Burns
There goes that
Yeah.
ticket.
hit a 3 yard drive. How many strokes do you think that would lose to the field? Like, is that a minus 1.2 off the tee if you hit the tree?
I think it depends where it lands.
That's fair. If it goes
If it lands
backwards,
in the tee box, it should be just -1 because you're just hitting to the fairway again.
that's that's some good math there, Mr. Balloon. That is well thought out. And the
Tough to
Dan
disagree.
Camp. Yeah, no, that's true.
You're
That
welcome for the
is
contribution.
no, that is a great thought. I It's so simple yet so profound. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Well said.
it is.
I got another question, which I don't.
Yes.
I think the answer is a yes. But is he rocking the same putter as weeks in the past?
Mr.
We have no
Mills,
reason. We have no reason to believe
it
there's been
better
a
be in the
change.
bag.
Yeah,
It's
I
somewhat
haven't.
Bermuda.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It better be Mr. Mills or Mr. Dan will have an issue. That's
yeah.
what I'll
I got
say.
one more question, then we can. Well, I have a few, but like another
No, go
really good
ahead.
one. What changes are we looking for? Maybe more of cuts into pins. Just really can't survive the pull left this week. Every time he hits one, I get so damn nervous. Good question. I assume last week he was hopefully working on that, and the last 3 days he's been working on that. So uh,
What? And I
I don't think he's changing anything. I think he's just trying to get better at what he's been doing poorly.
think that's well said. Uh, I was gonna say that kind of earlier, and then I got lost in my thoughts about the front nine tomorrow. Um, because I think he mentioned it on the Smiley Show that when he's playing his best, he's hitting with his longer clubs. He's hitting little sort of trap fades, I guess, right? These little fades that are tight,
3 yard bleeders.
3 yard bleeders. We didn't have that at the Honda. They were slight pulls, and you'd get the 2 yard draw, which is a consistent miss, and that's fine. And I was gonna say
Yeah.
if we see that early on Thursday, I think you feel really good. But I would also say if we don't quite see that early on Thursday, I'm willing to have a little bit of leeway with the just the weather, the temperature where we're at. So I think those like we said, those first 9 holes can't be meant for too much overreacting. But I think by you know end of the round on Thursday, we'll really see, hey, are these fades fading? Because I mean, you got to work it both ways around this golf course. But if he knows when he's playing his best, he's hitting these
Yeah.
shots and he's hitting them
No,
well,
yeah.
then I think that would be something that I would be looking for or watching for.
I mean, I think we'll know pretty early whether the fades are fading. I mean, we knew pretty early at the Honda that those fades were not fading. And the problem, sometimes the PGA Tour player's biggest enemy, and even more so for Spieth because he's very stubborn, is you keep trying to hit those shots because you're just so good that you think you can fix it. And some players are good at fixing their swing in the middle of the round. I think that Spieth did a good job of. I mean, he played like everything was going a few yards more left than he wanted. at the Honda, and he was playing some trap draws in the greens, and he knew the situation. He did try and hit the fade a few times. It didn't work because, I mean, that led to the triple bogey. But I think we'll know pretty early whether those fades are going to be fading or not. I think that if he's hitting, and also I think it's very important to note that the fades were fading with pitching wedge in. He was hitting the ball really well at the Honda with irons from 140 yards, 135 yards and in. Um, but I think we'll know pretty early with how those 7, 8 irons are reacting. Where his swing will sit for the week.
Well said. I mean, Sawgrass tests every club in the bag, which is
It does.
a bit of a change of pace from some of these tour courses out here, especially when the wind is blowing. And maybe you could say that if the wind blew at more courses, you'd get uh, more clubs, but you'll get some 5 and 4 irons out here into some par fours. I think a 14, big old beefy hole that likes to play into the wind. That's that'll be a long iron.
Spieth had hybrid on 8 today.
8, yeah, hybrid. I mean, that's just a girthy par 3. But like
It
there's
is.
Wood 3 is going to be out on number 4 probably. Kind of a
Oh
short
God.
4. Number 12, same thing, Wood 3. Driver will be out quite a bit. I think a 13 can play up to 195, 200. That could be 7, 6, 5 iron, 4 iron, even depending on the wind. It's going to be a proper test of golf. And what I was telling Jordan about, we were talking about this the other day, it feels winnable. Not necessarily, you know, from the
Yeah.
Spieth, totally from the Spieth perspective, but like Scheffler's not at his best. Rory's been he had a great start and he's obviously still very, very good. Xander's 1 week back. Um, and it's just a lot of dudes that are playing some
JT
good golf.
stinks.
You've
Yeah.
got you've got the Strakas of the world, the Lowrys of the world. Like there's guys playing well, but there's not a perennial winner that is at their best at the moment. And I think that is part of what makes me excited as well, is because I don't think we're getting a B Harmon kind of winner, but we're gonna get somebody who's playing well that maybe doesn't have a win like this in their career. And that's a cool story regardless. I'm not saying it's gonna be Brian Campbell levels of cool or it's not gonna be Pot Geeter either, but a guy like a Straka or
Yeah.
a
We'll get into
Fleetwood,
triple double.
potentially, or even a straight vibing.
Yeah.
Like this could be that kind of week for somebody like that. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be pretty
Interesting.
firm in saying that I'm very confident Scheffler or Shoffley don't win this week.
Yeah. I threw
Uh,
Rory in there too. I was thinking, and I was driving earlier today,
I
a
would
long
not
drive
throw
from work.
Rory in there at all,
Do
personally.
you think Rory can win, or?
I think Rory is going to win.
Wow. Okay, so I'm on the other side. I think Rory might miss the cut. I think it'll be interesting
Uh,
to see how Rory
I
plays.
watched. I just watched Rory last week play some of the worst golf I've ever seen him play in terms of hitting the actual golf ball, and still only lose by 4 shots.
Yeah,
Or
no, that's
2.
fair.
I think I think he can play his A- game and win this week. So I'm not
Okay.
taking him
Yeah,
I'm not taking him for the triple double because I do think that you're right. I think he has a downside for sure.
okay.
I think he has a
Yeah,
very
he
fat
was
downside.
he was all over
But
the place last week, and if he's all over the place this week, it
yeah,
could be a short week. So
the driver wasn't good last week. But if the driver's fixed,
yeah,
I'd be
that's
shocked
fair.
if anyone beats him. That's my take.
a valid
But
take. I was considering Scheffler this week. Um, because he seems kind of like the lurking giant,
I've
right?
ruled out
It's like
Scheffler.
he just didn't putt last week. He did not putt last week. And we'll see. But it's hard to win things in a row. Two
Here's my
times,
take
let alone
is
three. So
you when a win happens, you see it coming, as you like to say, Dan. And I haven't seen it coming from Scheffler.
fair enough. No,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I didn't pick him this week either, which is crazy. I mean, 3 weeks ago, you tell us that I'm assuming you're not picking him for double either. None of us are picking him in the biggest purse of the season. Um, but it just doesn't quite feel like it's there. Um,
It's
doesn't
fair.
feel like it's building towards that. But Sawgrass is volatile, right? Like you can miss the cut here and you can win here. Um,
He's still number one in my model. It's just I
oh, for
don't
sure.
feel the
It is pretty
confidence.
cool how there are certain courses on tour, and now this is where I'll give Sawgrass credit. If you're playing the best golf of your life at that with that talent, you're not going to miss the cut at Bay Hill. You're not going to miss the cut at most tour courses. You can miss the cut here coming in playing top five in the world golf.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we see it
Which
every
is
year.
cool.
We always see two or three guys 6 holes in that you're going to be like, they are in big trouble for the weekend. And it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Spieth didn't play well here in 2015. Who were the two that missed the cut last year? Did Thomas miss the cut last year?
Just yeah, I know we disagree on Rory, but Rory has missed the cut here 6 times. So like
Yeah.
even a player of that caliber would struggle here.
It's just pretty cool that you can see a complete, such a wider margin of error, or such a, I guess, opposite. It would be a less margin of error because it there are tournaments that Scotty Scheffler is just too good to miss the cut at. He physically can't do it. When Scotty Scheffler goes to the CJ Cup, he physically can't miss the cut there.
Hold on a
He'll be there
second.
this year, by the way.
Hold on a
Hold
second.
on a second.
He could miss the cut at Ranch.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
can.
that's the quality of the golf course because Ranch brings out the best in everybody. And so it's not that Scheffler, I mean, everybody gets beat up by the golf course, but it's also that Scheffler would get beat out by the others that are playing their best at such an esteemed property, is what
Yeah.
I'll say about that. But you can continue with your point.
You can continue.
It seems like you
I
don't have
do. I,
anything for me to
I
say.
I do get Bob's point though, because Sawgrass is cool because like this whole the 6 hole in thing. You're like, this guy's not gonna be around for the weekend. Just standing on that 10th tee. I mean, we watch guys play 10 when they start their rounds, and the guys that hit it into those trees on the left, it's like it could be double
There's
here to
plus
start our
two
round.
right there.
Exactly. So I do agree.
And
The volatility is
Spieth,
kind of cool.
I could be wrong, but I remember that 10th hole being quite the start for Spieth last year, if that wasn't 2 years ago. I forget what exactly he did, maybe three putted, but I remember the 10th hole being a feeble start at the
Yeah. Well,
Players.
if you get it going left into that bunker and it's a left pin, you're probably gonna have to work the ball around a tree out of the
Yeah.
sand on
Yep.
like your second shot of the day. But if you get it too far right, there's a little bit more tree trouble, some thicker rough, which actually the rough is up again this week,
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
more than
Four
normal. So
inches.
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gnarly rough this week. I think it was 3.5 officially last year. It's 4 this year on the fact sheet. So
do you know what Bay
Yeah.
Hill was by chance?
take a guess.
4,
Three
5?
and a half.
Oh, there were some gnarly lives at
And
Bay Hill. The
Yeah,
players
and
might
to be
be this score might be more closer to 11 or 12 if that's how the rough is going to be. There's going to be a massive penalty for
actually,
missing the fairway.
yeah, I take that back. It wasn't 3.5. It was
Troublesome.
3. It was 3 inches at Bay Hill. But to be fair, like there's gonna be areas that are you can't cut everything perfectly to 3 inches, but the fact that last year they had it listed as 3.5 at Sawgrass and it's 4 this year means they're probably putting an emphasis on making sure it's up this year pretty high. And there were people complaining at Bay Hill last week about it being easy. So like part of me is thinking like the tour controls the setups. What if they made, Bay Hill a little bit easier so they can make Sawgrass really stand out? I know Bay Hill played tough that first day because of the wind, but it played under par the last 3 days. So like part of me is
Yeah,
thinking like maybe the tour wants their event to, be that beast of a golf course. So it'll be interesting to see some of these lies this week. I mean, I think it'll be gnarly, but the wind over the weekend can make it, I mean, all hell breaking loose. So
I agree.
That's awesome.
I agree.
They'll never do it
yeah.
quite like Ranch, of course, but I mean they
Well,
can.
Ranch's rough is one of a kind.
Ranch got a
Um,
big commitment today, Dan. Did you see that? I know you're a
I did
working man, but
not. Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, number 1 player in the
Oh,
world.
he's not scared of Ranch anymore.
He's not. He's teeing it up.
That's awesome. He played it one time and then he was like, I can't with Ranch, but he's now returning, which is awesome. I mean, look, Ranch deserves the spotlight. Um, can't believe that it's back in that same time slot in the calendar. That just
Spieth missed the cut there last year.
who did?
Spieth? Mr.
Oh,
Spieth?
yes. Yeah, I mean, it challenges the world's best. Um,
well, is that what we're giving Spieth last year?
well, if it challenges the world's best, it also challenges the world's not best.
It's yeah.
That's fair,
Um,
Mr. Spieth.
and so you know, it if it can challenge a Scheffler, it can challenge a Spieth.
I
I
have a
think that's
feeling
pretty.
Spieth could be in the world's best with a win at Ranch this year.
Oh, he could. I mean, that would be a career-defining win. One of his best.
We
It
we
would.
mentioned
It
world's
would.
best, Dan. I don't know if it was you that pointed out in our group chat, but if Spieth wins this week, he's up to 16th in the world, I think,
Yeah. No, that would be
which is
a
cool.
that would be cool. I mean, it's
Not
kind of
expecting
sad that
it,
that's
but
where he's at. He's not in those VC
Yes.
606 posts of entering the top 10 in the world with a win anymore. Um, who knows where Data Golf would have him? Do you have Data
Well,
Golf?
long road down.
he's 74th in data
You
golf
know.
right now,
Oh, okay. So
65th in the Ogre.
he's still overrated technically. That's it's not really where we want to be. But
He needs more green boxes. He's 2 for 4 this year. I mean,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
was like
two.
100th to begin the year, I think. So I mean, he's just
Yeah.
gonna
No,
play more. He's only played 4 events, which is not a lot
right. Yeah, and only what is
compared
that
to the
for?
Michael Kims of the world
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
played
He
more than
kid.
14
much.
rounds. Yeah, and
Spieth,
Kim.
Spieth is playing good golf.
Kim's played 8 events in 25.
He's played every week. I wanted to take him at some of these events, but he's quite literally he has not taken a week off. And I'm like, at some point he's gonna burn out. And I think that
I
could
think
be
it's this week. I don't
yeah,
think
it's a
he's a
good
good
call.
course fit here, to be honest.
Um, it's just too much contention. He's played really well though.
Yeah. No, he's gonna
So
be tired this week, I think. Yeah, he
yeah.
hasn't had a break since he's played. Is this his 6th in a row?
I think it's more than that.
He played Phoenix, Genesis, Mexico,
Yeah, a
Cognizant.
lot of golf.
Like, yeah, I don't think
A
he's a
lot
good
of
course
golf.
fit this week, which is I guess I should ask, where do you guys think Spieth is in my model this week? Any
39th.
oh, that's a phenomenal guess.
I was gonna say 36th.
He's 54th.
Oh, I was gonna say 54th second, but that's okay.
Understood. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Almost spot on though.
who are the names around him?
Oh god. So Alex Smalley's one in front and Victor Hovland is one
Oh,
behind.
Mr. Hovland. some things that we know about him. But
That's pretty cool. A great point.
He's had a struggle of a 2025 so far.
yeah, can't
Yeah.
chip the ball. I don't understand why he leaves his coach.
I don't understand what happened to him, man. He's so interesting. I mean, he was the best player in the world a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's on his like in his last 25 starts, he was.
He's on quite the run right now. He hasn't gained strokes around the green or putting this year in any event. He's
Chills.
0 for 10 combined in those two categories. Can see why he's 55th.
Yeah, that is
Sheesh.
not good.
No.
He'll
Like
probably be
everyone
like
complains about his short game, but he can't putt either.
I'll probably be 4 under through 6 or something tomorrow morning, though. It's kind of how those things work.
Probably.
That is
But
plausible.
any other questions? Anything else
I
that's
have a bunch. I'm trying to think of like just ones that we could like actually give good elaborate answers to. Um, expectation for the week, I'm cautiously optimistic. I would like
Well
for it
put.
to not be a disaster and a weekend off.
yeah. I want
I expect
four
him to prop 4 rounds.
four
I
rounds and
would
a little bit of
sign.
tension on the weekend.
I would sign for a made cut, and we'll
Yeah,
see what happens from there.
that's well said. Yeah, I mean, all three of us expect him to play better next week. So play into that and set, a
Yeah.
bar for next week.
Yeah.
What does he need to do to be exempt into the signature events the rest of the year? I mean, I think if he wins, he's exempt, but I
Oh
think he's currently in
yes.
that Aeon swing. Like he's got to play good the
Which
couple
is
events before
good
each. I,
considering
I,
he'll be playing. Well, not good, but it's good considering he'll be playing a lot of like the Aeon Swing 5 is 2 events or 3 events prior.
I think it's two.
It's just in
Um,
between. It's the
Okay, so I mean he'll
gaps.
be playing a lot of events.
It's the gaps in between the
So,
signatures. So
yeah,
I
and
think it's I think
I think
it's
oh, is it?
I think so. I'm not sure if the
it
players
is.
counts. Um, I don't think
Players a
it
big
does.
field.
I
No,
think it's Valspar, Houston, Valero leads into RBC. I don't think the Masters counts either.
I think he's gonna get the rest of the exemptions anyway. I don't think any of these tournaments are not going to give him one. But Sam
Yeah,
Saunders
not
had to do Sam
after
Saunders,
the.
so
Right. So the truest is interesting.
I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
truest card holder, so I'll put in a good word for him.
Thank
I don't
you
think
for
Truist
that.
sponsor. I don't think Truist sponsors any other tour players. But
Yeah, that's a good point. I just think it's Philly. Like maybe they go. I don't know where they'd go, but just not him.
maybe. I mean, he said 10 to 12 today. Maybe he's already got some inside information.
Yeah,
But
that's possible.
yeah, selfish plug here. I hope he plays Philly because that's a good 70 to 90-minute drive for me, and I'd be willing to book a cheap hotel for the week if he plays there.
I'd
So
also I also fairly believe that would be an event I possibly
yeah,
would
so
get
I
to.
mean that's if the Truist Championship tournament staff is listening right now, like you're gonna get your tickets bought from Go Get That podcast representatives if you give them an exemption. But
And
hopefully he
and
doesn't need an
free
exemption though.
promotion. Free
And free
promotion all week of
promotion.
your event.
Exactly. I'm a
Yes.
Truist card holder as well. So I mean there's
Yes.
another bonus. Um
Yes. Well said.
that's nice. It'd be good to go get that boots on the ground for
It
Yeah.
would be.
Philly's
Truist.
not too far from Detroit either.
Ooh.
Could be a
Really?
little early
That's for
spring.
is
It'd be,
that
I mean,
come on, Dan.
it'd be a hump, but it'd be,
That's east of where I live.
A hop and a skip.
oh, yeah, I was thinking Pittsburgh in my head. That doesn't
Yeah,
add up.
Pittsburgh's a little
Oh
closer.
yeah, Pittsburgh and Philly are quite different
Yeah,
things.
yeah, I'm
It's
realizing
6 hours in between them.
Nice. Good
Yes.
math by the Dan Camp. That's okay though. I'll if Spieth accepts his exemption into the Detroit Classic, that would be I would be there.
I woke
Yes.
Rocket Mortgage.
No, we do not say their name. Do not say their name.
I have one more question and then we can move on. Uh, this is a congratulations to the Spieth family. It's official now. I think the PGA Tour posted about it, so it's all cool. I think Bob put something out too. Is Jordan's third child expected to be
Yes.
near his birth? Yeah, it's in July, which could cause some problems. But I mean, we obviously that's 4 months out, so it's tough to
There's not a whole lot
speculate
we
it.
can do about that
No,
It's
other than
something we
hope.
can discuss in the future.
there are a couple events in July that we'd like to see him play, though, to put it
Yes.
bluntly. But we'll see
Because
when July
that's
gets
There are a
here.
few.
yes, early July would be ideal. Little
Yeah,
Spieth baby, if you can hear us, please. So your
Why
Sam
not
family,
I.
add a baby and a jug to the family?
yes, can put the baby in the. Well, no, the jug does not work
There's
like
a lot of
that.
alcohol in that jug as well.
Yes.
Yes. So you could put, I was thinking the US Open trophy. You could put the baby in the US
The
Open
baby could
trophy.
be put in the PGA trophy.
Can be put in the Wanamaker. You could name the kid Wanamaker Spieth. That would be
Yes.
quite the
Grand Slam
family.
Spieth.
Yes.
Yes.
These are my three
Slam
kids.
Spieth.
Sammy,
Slam, he
Sophie,
he is big with
Sammy,
the
Sophie,
S's.
and Slam. That's actually kind of
Sam
chilling.
Spieth and Slam Spieth.
Yeah, he's big with the S's. So yeah, Slam would be
Yeah, Sammy,
the fans
Sophie,
would
and
love
Wanamaker.
that.
I just named the kid Jug. Claret. Claret
I
Spieth.
would, if you have no more questions, I'd like to start off the triple double personally
Jug
Yeah, I
Spieth.
mean,
because I had a horrible realization while creating my picks.
I
Oh.
haven't looked at your picks on the dock yet, so I'm excited to see this.
And if you
Here,
can see on the rule sheet, we don't have many
the,
rules, but the rules does say you can use a live player once. And there
are you
was
using the one guy?
there was some hope that we could see live players in the PGA. And personally, right as he's rounding in the form, I was prepared to put Mickelson on my go get that triple double card. And I am devastated that I can't do that because honestly, he could be a top 10 player in the world right now. It's very
He's
possible.
rounding in the form.
He's rounding in the form right in time.
For Magnolia
Um,
Lane.
so maybe he'll have to be on my Masters
You
card.
pencil him in there already,
Um,
exactly. You pencil him in.
but this just shows now we have to settle for Tommy Fleetwood. So Tommy Fleetwood's on the card for me. I think he's gonna play very well this week. I don't know if I think he's gonna win, but I think he's gonna play
Yeah.
very well this week. Then I'm going at the top of the card with Colin Morikawa.
Ooh,
Um,
love that.
I think I'm getting him at the right time. I don't think he's going to win, but I do think he is going to, at the very least, make me some money. So I have that, and then I'm rounding it out with, speaking of Jug, the Bulldog, Mr. Brian Harmon this week.
No.
Mr. Brian Harmon,
Good dogs.
he can contender on this place. He's done it before. So hoping the Bulldog can get himself into contention this weekend.
Yeah.
Great course fit. Great course
It
fit for
is.
Harmon. You want to go down since you're in
Yeah,
first?
yeah, go
Let
ahead. I
the,
reclaimed my throne thanks to Corey Connors this past
yeah,
week.
let the loser go first here. Me. So I'm also going Colin with Bob. My second Colin use, which kind of stinks. So he's out of play the rest of the dang year. But playing great golf. I think he fits this golf course well. And for all the reasons Bob kind of gave. Top play of the week. My top play of the week, like first click, is Aaron Rye. I love the course fit. Love the course fit. He's actually playing really good golf too. So it's not just a course fit thing. He's 23rd he's 24th in the Ogre too. So 23rd in data golf, 24th in the Ogre. Playing great golf. T4 in the Mexico Open, whatever. Gained 8 shots on approach that week, which is cool. T11 last week. Great course fit. I know a lot of people love him. I think his number at sportsbooks is just collapsed because he's getting taken in so much money, which means he'll miss the cut. But he's my top play of the week. He in my model was fifth. Fifth. He's popping off the charts. Fleetwood was fourth though. So I love that too, Bob. But I just
He's
after
wrong.
after the way he feebled his way around over the weekend last week, I can't go with him. I don't want to go with him 2 weeks in a row. Last play, maybe foreshadowing something here with another contestant of the triple double. I'm going Sepp Straka. Dan kind of alluded to it earlier. Like this week is made for someone that's going to get that signature win. And Sepp's won. He won the Amex, but it's time for him to really win a big one. And that's not great in a Ryder Cup year. He's 13th in the world, 16th in the data golf. He has played phenomenal golf this year. He's also a guy that played a ton. This is his 9th event, and he's finished inside the top 15 in 7 of them. He's playing great golf, the best golf of his career, which I'll again say stinks in a Ryder Cup year. It's not looking great for Team USA right now, but it just seems that it's time for Sepp Straka to win a big one. He's won the Amex, he won the Honda in 22, he's won the John Deere. It's time for him to get one of the big ones, and I think this is a perfect time with how he's playing.
Yeah, Straka's been on a roll. I also have Mr. Straka this week. I mean, I just echo everything Jordan said. He's played really well this year,
I
and
had him at the Amex too, so like,
yeah,
yeah, he's my
it
guy.
seemed
Yeah.
it's a good fit. I like you said, 7 top 15s and 9 starts. Like I'm just trying to get some money out of Straka. He's a guy that's going to deliver. It's the biggest purse of the year. And so it's crazy that none of us are playing Scheffler. I'm also going Fleetwood with Bob. So everybody's got an overlapping play here. I think you were just a week early on Fleetwood, Jordan. Like I think if we want to talk about guys that are winning an event, like a big one, it seems like it could be
Yeah.
Tommy's time. Played well in Florida. He's just been playing well recently. It's a lot of green boxes on that data golf page. I know a lot of them are Euro tours, which eh, you know, do those how much do those boxes really mean in the grand scheme of things? But he's been
I count.
consistent. I feel good about him finishing up pretty high on the leaderboard. Final pick, Shane Lowry, the Irishman. He's also playing well. Just
Yeah, I like that pick.
moving and
Yeah,
grooving. Seems like
I
a
do as
type of
well.
dude that could finish his career with an Open and a Players. Like that seems fitting.
That's perfectly
Uh,
said, actually.
for a guy,
He is. That's a perfect thing for him. Yeah.
yeah, for a guy like
Yeah.
Lowry. And I just to comment on your picks, I love that you guys are playing Morikawa this week because I think I was torn on him. I think he either plays really well or he misses the cut. And I'm not sure, or it's a weekend like tumble. Like I don't think there's a T18 for Morikawa this week. It's either he's top 5 or he's crashing out. Because Russell Henley dusted him on Sunday on the back 9. And either that's one of the great motivators in life, or you are just heartbroken because you got outplayed by Russ Henley uh, down the stretch, who, by the way, is playing very well. And also
It's
probably,
very easy to get outplayed by Russ Henley. It's very hard to get out championed by
I
Russ
love
yeah,
how
Henley.
none of us went with Russ.
well, and so
Like,
that's the other thing is like he would be a great play if he T2'd last week. But I think
Yeah.
we all kind of feel
you are
like
fair.
he's he's not there was just a lot of emotion last week, even though he didn't do anything on this winter celebration. Um,
He's third in my model, so like, there's nothing to not like about him. It's just can he back it up and
I
like
mean, Russell Henley's got to be.
eye testing.
We were talking about this a little bit in our chat. He's a Ryder Cup lock. Like he'll be in Bethpage, I think. Um, and we were talking a little bit, but I picked 3 guys from Europe: Straka, Lowry, Fleetwood. And I think all three of those guys are going to be on the team. Jordan, you picked Straka,
I,
Rye, right? Like that. I mean, Aaron Rye's like do you think Aaron Rye would make the United States team if he was American?
the numbers would tell you he probably should.
He might. Like if his name was Jordan Spieth, he'd be on the team, given how he's played.
I do we have 12 Americans in data golf that are ranked higher?
This is
One, two, three,
one of the great
four,
parts of
five,
this podcast is
six,
figuring out if Aaron Rye
7,
would be on
8,
the U.S.
9.
Ryder Cup team.
He'd be the 11th ranked American in data golf. And Sam Burns is above him.
Oh my God.
Envy now.
Well,
It's fine.
yeah. That you just hear those names and you don't think,
That's
oh,
a
these
sigh
guys are
right
gonna kill
there.
in New York. Same thing with like I feel like Cantlay's kind of earned his spot on the team though. Not necessarily with his play, but he was one of the few guys that showed up in Rome a few years ago.
A
Uh
couple T5s this year, but he doesn't.
I mean, yeah, he's solid, but like he's also like, oh, he's quiet, he won't bring the emotion, but yeah, he brought it in Rome. Like he's one of the few dudes to do it. Like I could care less if Xander didn't make the team. Um, like I want a little more passion out of a fella like that. But he's a lock with the two majors last year, so that's uh kind of
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I mean, I've been saying in our group chat the three locks should be Scheffler, Xander, and Brian Harmon. That's
The three
that's what I've
locks,
done.
Harmon. Oh my God. Dude,
Kind
Harmon
of a joke, maybe a joke, kind of not a joke, but
Harmon around Bethpage would be interesting to say the least.
the US doesn't lose. They always have more talent, though. It's not like I think McNeely even had a cool quote a few years ago, and he's looking
McNeely would
decent
be
for the
kind of
team right
cool.
now.
Yeah.
We need guys that can putt. The Americans have so many dudes that are just not great putters, and the
Mr.
Europeans kick
Mills.
our Mr. Yes, Mr. Mills.
Mr.
We get
Mills
our
is
butts
changing
kicked
that outlook.
because
I
yeah, I mean,
think I think if we're looking for some more sack, it would be immature to look past Mr. Mickelson, given his recent performances. I'll just say this. I'll just say this. If I'm Sepp Straka, would I rather play Russ Henley in singles or Phil Mickelson in singles?
I think you'd rather play Phil.
I disagree.
I'd rather play Phil or who I zoned out for a second.
Henley.
I
I
think
think
I'd rather
Henley's just
play Hemley.
but well, and so I say Henley because I think he's just playing really well.
There's a
But
crowd effect there as well.
I would rather play Burns or Finau than Phil.
Yeah.
I would
See these,
I'd rather
but
play
these
Spieth,
things should be taken into account when picking the teams.
rather
I
play
think.
Thomas.
Agree.
But like I I would have zero issues if Phil continued to play show form if he made the team. Literally zero. And I'm not a Phil fan, but I'm not a triumphant Phil supporter. Um I'd have no issues. Phil and Bryson, throw them out first tee. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
That'd
it's
be
true.
electric. You get a Phil versus Rory would do numbers because Rory would want
Yeah.
to kick his ass, and Phil would have a little something to say.
And they just have to put him out first match too.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be
I
the
think it would
Sunday
be awesome.
slings.
It would
And
be
then
awesome.
but then imagine the American team following that with I don't know.
I
The
mean,
European
I'll
team
just
is awesome.
listen. They made the mistake leaving Kisner at home
Okay,
at Rome. Kisner's just not playing good enough golf anymore. So we're going to replace Kisner with Phil and make the correct decision this time.
fair. I also think there's something I was thinking about. I mean, we don't have to get too much into Ryder Cup here, but McNeely, Keegan Bradley,
I agree.
like you could get an interesting team this summer for the Americans.
I'll say this: I really hope it doesn't go by the standings because I you want to know what really stinks is that I know we don't want to get into it. I really don't think Bradley will pick himself.
if he's 7. I think I
Yeah,
agree with you.
I really don't think he will,
I hope he
which
does.
stinks because I
He should
think
play. If
I
he's
think
if
if
he's
he
top 12, he
finishes
should play.
13th, I think if he finishes 13th, he should probably get that pick because his putter's become a weapon for him, and he's going to bring the energy.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he's a dog. You want to know who else is a dog? A bulldog.
B. Harmon.
Mr. Harmon is on my Ryder Cup locks list as of now.
Come on with that.
It's tough to disagree with that.
It is tough. It's very tough.
Major champion or Liverpool,
Yes.
right there.
Yes.
I saw him lap the
Speaking of
field in person.
Liverpool, thoughts on yesterday, Mr. Carp?
Fine. I'm not mad. This Liverpool team, as a Liverpool fan, not good. It's so hard to win so many. You're playing so many games too. I'm not mad. We're winning the Premier League, Bob. Thank you. I'm rooting for you guys against Real Madrid.
Yes.
I hate Real with all my heart, and the way they won today just disgusts me, and I love it. Let it go.
It was rigged.
Just because they're always that.
Rigged.
It was rigged, but I will be rooting firm for Arsenal. What do you think against Arsenal? Your Arsenal, Bob? I don't.
It was a valiant point by the mighty Arsenal at Old Trafford this past weekend.
Yes, we've
It's good for Arsenal.
thrown in the towel on the Premier League.
Throw in the towel and go beat Real Madrid.
Focused on the Champions League.
Yeah, and a lot of people think we're off topic as usual at the end here, but if you guys can beat Real Madrid, you're probably the favorite. Who's the favorite right now? Do we know?
It'd be so Arsenal to win that and then just lose in the next.
The favorite would still probably be Bayern, I think.
Okay. Bayern's a clown show, man.
They
That
are,
makes sense, but like
they are. To be fair, the books
on the
love
German
Arsenal.
league.
The books love Arsenal. The
Bayern's like
books
eight in
the
the
books have
Bundesliga right
always
now.
kind of loved Arsenal, which is a little weird. But
Arsenal's a good team. They just need to get healthy.
We got yeah.
Yeah. No, Arsenal just needs to get healthy. Dan, I gotta ask. So
Do we have
you're
anything else?
I wouldn't ask Dan's are you gonna be able to watch this weekend, Dan? I assume so.
Yes, I'll be very much tuned in this weekend.
If we make the cut, that is.
Yes, I think even regardless, I will be tuned in for portions.
So excited. Like it feels like the first big week since the Open last year. And even the Open, like we had the injury concerns and everything, but it's like Pebble was cool first week back. But this is like the first because he didn't play an API. I didn't expect him to do anything at Torrey, the signature event there. And then we had the Cognizant, and it's like this is like the first big event where I think like he's got a chance. I mean, he's what, 70-1 right now. But he can win. I'm not expecting him to win. I don't expect him to play well here because he doesn't. I'm just hoping he doesn't go in with that mentality. I mentioned it numerous times. You don't play well here, but do not go in with that mentality that you can't play well here because he's hitting it, I think, well enough to play here. He's putted well 2 of the 3 times. It's cautiously optimistic. But yeah, I think, Bob, you said it well. Dan, you also said it as well. It can't be a disastrous miscut. Like you got to build into next week. If you don't win this week, just build into next week.
Agreed. It's all about gearing up for the Valspar in reality. I mean, obviously you want to contend this week, but that feels like the one on the schedule that it's like, let's go.
We expect, he's
really
70-1 this week. He's 70-1 this week, and if he
play well this
plays
week and
half
be 20
decent
next week.
Play well this week, and he's in the teens.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
And the last time Mr. Spieth has been in the teens to win an event has been
Many.
Actually, he
Wow.
was in the teens at the John Deere. He was 16
Bad
and one.
bet. That was bad
He
bet
was
that
T1
one.
on Saturday, so that's reasonable odds from the book.
Yeah.
But
Just needs to keep building.
nonetheless,
Keep building.
nonetheless,
Um,
yeah.
no one's
Also,
expecting a finished product this week.
yeah.
No.
It all starts tomorrow,
Less than
8:36.
12 hours away. Yeah.
It'll
Early
be an
wake up
early
for Bob.
morning for me.
Yes, that is chills.
It'll
I'm
be a very
envious
early
of
morning.
you all that get to watch full thing. I will be in and out.
Couple
Hoping to
bathroom breaks,
see.
right, Dan?
Oh, for sure. For sure. May even just be a stand up out of the chair and check the phone.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
tough and fair. It's the one they all want. I mean, it's the one that you want. It's the one that we want. It's
that's what UWM wants as well, actually. So, anyway,
It means
morale
more.
is
It
high in the
means
building.
more.
it really does mean more. The train has far left the tracks. Uh, we are rolling over whatever we're rolling over now, but I think it's fair enough. We have arrived at our final destination, the players.
Yeah.
So,
Choo choo.
Hold on that horn. Play that theme song, baby.
yeah. I'll leave you
Here
with
comes the
that.
copyright strike.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yes, and the demonetization has begun.
They have banished the go get that pod.
Yes.
But
Until
we'll see
Sunday.
Yeah,
you
we
all.
might be recording. Well, yeah, we'll be recording anyway Sunday, win or loss. It's just it's live.
Yes. We will see you all on the social medias. It's been a pleasure.
Enjoy the players, everyone.
Peace.